potentials inside us, and this technique will help us to get these techniques, get these possibilities and these like what we say the what's the right opportunities that we have inside us, so that it's going to make a lot of benefit to us in the day-to-day life that we spend. He has given his precious time with us so that he will communicate these same things to us, so that we can make our lives much better, and we can release all the potentials that are already stored in the human body that has been provided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I would like to thank him personally on behalf of my team, all my teams, that he has come and he has obliged to give this delivery of this program for us. I would now like Mr. Masood to take over and run us through the presentation and the whole program as well. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How is everyone?
Fine.
Okay. I didn't get a good response for good morning. So once again, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Yes, that's more like it. Okay. I would like to start by reciting a verse from the Holy Quran. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Inna atayna kal kawsar. Sadaqallahu al-azim. Wa sadaqa rasuluhu an-nabiyul kareem wa nahnu ala dhalika min ash-shahidin. This ayat of the Quran is one which I have been reciting quite frequently. Like I have had this urge to keep reciting it again and again for the past 1 year. And in this ayat, God Almighty is saying that we have given you abundance. Okay, there's a different context to this ayat. Okay, like it goes like, when we will be there on the day of judgment, and God will judge our deeds, and like the people who do good deeds will go to heaven, and the people who do bad deeds will go to hell. So there will be a stage when the good people will be presented to the Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him, and God Almighty has provided a pond, you can say, a lake, okay, by the name of Kausar, and all these good people will be, given a drink from this lake, from this pond, by the very hands of Prophet Muhammad. So it is in that context that we normally understand this verse, which means that, O Muhammad, may peace be upon you, we have given you the pond or lake of Kausar. But then when you look at the literal meaning of the word Kausar, Kausar means abundance. And when you try to understand what God Almighty is directly telling to us, then He is saying, I have given you abundance, or we have given you abundance. Now, I was aware to a certain extent and love to believe that I have abundance. Okay, I have health. Okay, I have a sound body. I have a lovely family, wife, kids, mom, dad, brothers and sisters, all my relatives, right? And then I have a good job, right? I'm fairly well to do, right? I'm not in need of any such thing that we normally need, in our life. And it's happy to think that we have the abundance, right? And then I got this opportunity, to attend this course, and then came to know about the infinite abundance that God Almighty has given, not only to me, but to each and every human being that is born in this world. Okay? And again, the good news, when you look at the verse and when you look at the reality of this thing, you will realize that this is not something that you have to go and search and acquire first and then put it into practice to like start doing miracles in your life. You don't have to get it from somewhere outside. It is something that is given to you, that is there in you already, right? And it is there in every single person that is born on the face of this earth. And those are some of the, like that is the possibility which I am referring to. Okay, that is what I am referring to when I say infinite possibilities within. Okay, we are not aware, and I hope like I would be able to make you aware of like what you are capable of doing and what you are capable of achieving by the end of this session, right? Of course, this is an introduction, right? Like I've spent like 10 days attending this training. We spend nearly 17 to 18 hours, sometimes 19 hours in a day, back to back, learning all this stuff. But of course, like we are here for a very short time. We will not be here for 19 hours. Okay, 1 hour, maybe 2 hours. As long as it takes for us to complete this discussion. Okay, and like it will be like a new chapter in your life. I hope, right? We'll be opening a new door, okay, of possibilities, and then it's up to you. Like how further you would want to take it in your personal life. Okay, so I would start with a concept that we call as the learning curve. Okay, so you can see here on the screen, this is a vertical line. On the top you can see conscious, and on the bottom you can see unconscious, right? So you can say all those things which are within our knowledge, which we know about consciously, okay, come in the top side, conscious, and those which we do not know at all, or we know them but we have forgotten, we no longer remember that we know them, like those things will fall under the unconscious. And this is the horizontal line. On one side you have incompetence, and on the other side you have competence. Okay. Now we'll go through this learning curve, okay, and this is the first quadrant of the learning curve. The first quadrant falls within the unconscious and the incompetence. Okay, so that's the first quadrant. Now what this quadrant means is that there are many things in life that we don't know, and we are not even aware that we don't know. Are you able to follow?
Yes.
Okay. This is the unknown, part of our life, unknown part of knowledge. Okay, we have absolutely no idea how much knowledge and information is out there. Okay, so it's unknown. And if you want to put it in simple words, we can say I don't know what I don't know. Okay, I don't know what I don't know. Like for example, how many of you had heard of NLP before today's session? Okay, thankfully 1 and 2 people. So it was something that you didn't know, and you didn't even know that you didn't know. You get the idea of what I am trying to drive through?
Yes.
You don't know that you don't know. So there are so many subjects, so many things in terms of knowledge, in terms of information, that we have absolutely no clue at all that even such a thing exists. Okay, and then what happens is at some point in life you come to know about a topic. Okay, just like again, I'll just continue with the example of NLP. Okay, you just came to know about what is NLP. So you have just moved from the first quadrant into the second quadrant. Okay, where you are consciously aware of a subject, of a topic, but you are totally incompetent in that topic, right? So this is the stage of discovery. You just discovered, okay, there's something called as NLP, right? And we can, in simple words, call this as I know what I don't know. I know that there is something called NLP, but I don't know what is NLP. I know what I don't know, right? And then that applies to all the other subjects about which you may have some information, okay, but you know that you're not competent in that subject. Okay, even health and safety, for example. Okay, you all like will be performing the marketing, and like you have some information regarding health and safety, for example. And then are you a subject expert of health and safety? Maybe not, right? So you still fall into that. You know what is safety, but then you don't know in detail like what is safety. Okay, so I know what I don't know. You come into the second quadrant when you discover like any new subject. Okay, once you discover that, if it is to your liking, if you are interested in that, then you will like ask questions, get more information, keep getting information, and as you gradually gather information about that, you keep learning about that. Okay, you will enter into the third quadrant. Okay, which we have termed as interrogate. And you are interrogating, asking questions, gathering information. Okay, and then you will come to a state that we can call as I know what I know. Right. So this is between the conscious and the competence. Right? You are consciously aware of a subject and you have the information, you are competent in that subject. Okay, sales, for example, for you guys, I could say, like sales is such a subject. Okay, so you are good at sales, hopefully, and you are conscious, you know how to do the sales and all that, right? So you are in the third quadrant. I know what I know, right? And if you keep practicing what you have learned, the subject that you have come to know, then you will eventually enter the fourth quadrant, okay, which we can call as the expert quadrant. Okay, and in simple words, it will say, I don't know what I know. Okay, let's move the Skype window a little bit. Okay, so what is this? I don't know what I know. I mean, you become such an expert at doing things that you are no longer consciously aware that you even know that subject. Okay. So for example, if you are very good at sales, right, and then you like immediately the moment you get a client, you get in touch with someone, you start talking to them, they seem to like you immediately, instantly, and then you keep building up the rapport. Okay, you present your stuff. Okay, what all products you have, people are interested, they like come for it, they buy your product, they like take your training, and then you're extremely good at it, you're an expert, right? And then if we ask you like how do you do it, what is it that you do like that I could learn to become a sales expert myself, and then you may simply say like I just do it. I mean, it's very easy, what's there to learn about it? And you are not able to break it down into the steps. Right? So you are not consciously aware of what you are actually doing, but you are still doing it, right? And you are expert. You are getting the results. Okay. So we'll say that you are competent, and you are so competent. You are such an expert that you are no longer consciously aware of that. It has all gone into your unconscious mind, right? You know how to do it. You always keep doing it because you have trained yourself to do it like that. But then it's not there at the conscious level. So if we ask you, try to think of like what you are doing, how you are doing, then you will have to struggle back into the third quadrant, where you come to I know what I know. Like it's like, for example, I'll give you another example. Like when you're learning to drive. Okay, if you drive, I don't know like for how many people this example would be suitable, but like you have an idea of like what is driving. So there was an age when you were very small, you didn't know about driving at all, right? So you were in this quadrant. I don't know what I don't know. You were not even aware that there's something called as driving. And then you discovered, right? At some point of time, you saw mommy driving, you saw daddy driving, whoever, right? And then you came to know, oh, there's something called as a car, there's something that we have to do in order to make this move, and that is called as driving. And then you come into I know what I don't know. I know that there's driving, but I don't know, like how to drive. Then you like become like, you say 18 years of age, legally allowed to drive, and then you start driving, you start learning to drive, right? And then you consciously learn everything. Okay, what I have to do, first I sit down, okay, I have to like put the key in the ignition, I have to like turn on the car, like turn on the ignition, the car will start, okay, then I will press the brake, okay, I have to like move the gear, okay, and then I release the brake slowly, and then the car starts moving, right? And then Okay, I forgot the indicator, I put the indicator, and then I do the steering. So everything you do step by step consciously. You remember those steps at the time when you are learning. Every single step one at a time, right? And you are in this stage, I know what I know. And then you practice and you keep practicing, you keep driving, and then if you look at yourself driving today, okay, driving a car, riding a motorcycle, whatever it is, okay, it's not something that you really have to do consciously. You just get into the car, okay, the hand automatically goes, key, okay, start it, put the gear, okay, release the brake, you just, you keep driving, you're thinking of something else, right? Because you're thinking all the time. And since you have practiced and you have become an expert, you don't have to consciously put the effort to remember, okay, what is it that I have to do? I have to put the gear, I have to release the brake, I have to push the accelerator. You don't have to think about that anymore, right? Because you have become an expert. So you drive unconsciously. Your unconscious mind is trained and it will drive the car for you, okay, and you can think about something else. Your conscious mind is free to think about whatever it likes. So you might be thinking about home, you might be thinking about your home, which is back in the Philippines or India or wherever you belong to, right? And or you might be thinking about some sales deal, office, meeting, getting back home, what I'll have for dinner, anything. You will be thinking about anything, and yet you will be driving, right? And sometimes people realize that you drive into the parking at your home, and then all of a sudden you kind of wake up and then you think, how did I get here? I don't remember the way, I don't remember the traffic, I don't remember changing lanes, I don't remember taking that exit, I don't remember stopping at the signal and driving when it was green. I don't know how I got here, but I got here, right? So what happens is you have done that unconsciously, okay, because you are very competent, okay. So that's the quadrant of the experts. Now, the reason why I have presented the learning curve is to explore our attitude towards learning, okay, and if we want to improve our attitude, okay, I will give you the suggestion what is required from us to be in the best state of learning. I will ask you before I start giving an answer. With regards to our learning attitude, which quadrant do you think is the best one? For you to have the best learning attitude, which quadrant will you select? 3. I know what I know. Okay. You can be free, there's no right or wrong, it's not an exam. Okay, I'll not give you marks for giving wrong answers or right answers. Anything openly, what comes to your mind? Which quadrant do you think has the most potential for enabling you to learn?
Discover.
To discover, okay. I know what I don't know. Any other opinion? No opinions. Okay. Okay, no problem. Right, you see, now with respect to the learning attitude, okay, the best quadrant that I would recommend is quadrant number 1. Okay, this is I don't know what I don't know. Okay, this doesn't mean that you become a dummy and you don't learn about anything at all. This is the attitude which I am talking about, right? You might be an expert, you might be in the 3rd quadrant on some subjects, you might be in the 2nd quadrant on some subjects, right? Because there are so many different subjects. For example, I know about MBBS. You have to do MBBS to become a doctor, but I don't know the full form of MBBS. So I know that I don't know, right? I know what I don't know. I know there's something called as MBBS. People do that to become doctors. Okay, but what is that? The details of that field, of that subject, I don't know. So many subjects are there. You will find yourself in different quadrants on any given subject.
People
right?
have to do nibosh.
People
Have to do nibosh.
to
Do nibosh.
become MBBS.
No. Safety.
Okay.
What is
Okay, so I should give,
what is negotiable?
what is Nibosh? Okay. Yeah, that would be a more relevant example. Okay. So the best quadrant with respect to our learning attitude would be the first quadrant, like I said. Treat yourself or behave as if I don't know what I don't know. Okay. So this becomes the most, like powerful quadrant. Okay. This is the most powerful quadrant. This is the unknown, right? And you keep thinking I don't know what I don't know. See what happens, like when I said learning attitude, okay, you might be an expert, okay, in a certain subject. Let's say health and safety, right? You're an expert in health and safety, or some of you are experts in health and safety. Okay, now if we have an interaction and I start talking about health and safety and I start giving my opinion and you think that you're an expert, that you have the best knowledge already, then will you be accepting an information coming from someone else or will you try to teach them? Our attitude will be probably that we would want to teach them because you're already an expert, you know, right? And people have a similar attitude when they come into this quadrant, I know what I know. Right? You might have literally heard these words from some people when you try to talk to them. You try to explain something and they say, I know what I know. Okay, don't try to teach me. So they think they know, okay, and they are not so open to learning. Second quadrant is, of course, you know the name of certain subjects and you may be interested in them, you may not be interested in them, right? So, but then how many subjects are there about which you are even aware about that they exist, right? So there are so many, hundreds, thousands, of subjects that we don't even know the name of the subject. We don't know that such a thing exists, right? So again, even if you're in that quadrant and you're interested to learn, if you list out the things that you know that you don't know, then it will be very few items that you can come up in your list. So the best attitude would be that you behave like even if you are an expert, always your mind will be open to learning. If you consider yourself as, okay, I don't know what I don't know, please tell me. And then you hear the person out, right? And then later you can decide whether the information that they shared was true or false or good or bad or whatever, right? That's the most powerful, quadrant. And of course, since this is a new subject for you, I wouldn't expect, that you are anywhere in this, three quadrants, right? You'll have to accept whatever I'm saying, okay? Because you don't know what you don't know. Okay. Right. Before we move on, I have another interesting, thing to share with you, which I have learned again in these past, few days of training, and we call this as the learning state. Okay, what is the learning state? Let me put it this way. How would you like to learn a technique that will enable you to keep learning even if you are asleep? Do you understand? How would you like to learn a technique which will enable you to keep on learning even if you were to fall asleep? You're sleeping but you're still learning. Would be helpful?
It would be, but it's like humanly possible because you're
Okay,
trained.
so that was the next question that I had on the slide. Does that even sound possible?
It's not.
Actually, yesterday I saw somebody doing that in my class.
Okay.
I have a photo also.
No, it's not just going to sleep like that. It's going to sleep after you activate the learning state. And that would be helpful in the class. I've started implementing that in my classes. Okay, so I've taught my students the learning state, and then after that I'm not concerned. Okay, I say you go to sleep if you want. No problem. They go to sleep. They're they might be distracted. They might be playing around in the mobile phone. Whatever they do. Whatever they do, they will still continue to keep learning. Of course, they have to be in my class. I mean, the learning state doesn't mean that you go home and go to sleep and still you learn what I'm teaching in the class. No. You have to be in my class. Okay, so as long as you are in the class, it doesn't matter what you are doing, you can still continue to keep learning. Right? Okay, so it is possible and much more, right? See, what happens over here is that when we are consciously learning, we are using our conscious mind, right? And our conscious mind is only 5% of our total mind. And our unconscious mind is 95% of our mind. And the unconscious mind never goes to sleep. It is always awake. It is always learning. Except if you have closed, the window for allowing the information to enter into the mind, then you will not be learning anything. Which is, I believe, the state in which you are at the moment. Okay, someone may have accidentally triggered their learning state, because have you heard about such a state before? Was it ever taught to you in school or anywhere in college or university? No? No one has learned. So it's probably the learning state is off right now. Or like I said, you may have activated it accidentally, and you are not even aware that it is on. So this is something that is possible. Now I was saying that your unconscious mind is 95% of the total mind. So you can see it's like 5% versus 95%. And unconscious mind is awake all the time. It is doing what it is told all the time. By the way, if I ask you, how many of you trust your unconscious mind? It's a little too early to ask, I think. Right? You just came to know that you have an unconscious mind, and then I'm asking whether you trust it or not. You know that you have an unconscious mind? We used to call it subconscious.
Yes.
You will be probably aware of subconscious. Okay, subconscious, even I used to call it subconscious, but then I learned in this training of mine that subconscious is a wrong name for the mind, for that part of the mind. Okay, subconscious means it's like sub, to the conscious mind it's a subconscious. So you're looking at something small and which is too limited when compared to the conscious mind. So that's the sense which you get when you say subconscious. So that is why, my trainer said, he doesn't use this terminology, he says unconscious mind. Okay, so you come, you are aware of what is the subconscious or unconscious mind. Okay, we'll use unconscious mind from now on. So do you trust your unconscious mind? Sometimes. Not always. Cannot be trusted. Don't know what it will do, if you leave it, you start trusting it. Okay, guys, everyone trusts their unconscious mind. But you may not be trusting it consciously, but you are trusting it all the time. You are not aware of it consciously. And this is something that we have to work on to develop a trust between your conscious and your unconscious mind. At the moment, consciously, a lot of people may not have some trust. But it is very trustworthy. Let me ask you this way. When you go to sleep, when it's time to go to bed, do you have to tell your unconscious mind, see, I'm going to sleep, so keep breathing?
No.
Do you say that? Don't forget to, breathe. Keep breathing, huh? I'm going to sleep. I'm leaving you in charge. Do you do that? Do you have to tell your heart to keep pumping? It does it, doesn't it? And it does much more. It's like a genie. Your unconscious mind is like a genie which is trying to please you, trying to do everything for you. Whichever instructions you are giving to it, it is going to follow without any question. It will just do it. Right? And it is programmed, it is designed to protect you and to preserve you. Right? If you like something, when I say like, it's like in inverted commas, then it will make the arrangements for you to experience the same thing which you like again and again in life. For example, if someone is always focusing on lack of money. I don't have money, I don't have money, and you keep feeling miserable all the time. No money. No money. So what happens? Your unconscious mind understands that this is a feeling, this is an emotion that is very important to you. And that is why you keep spending so much focus on that. And what it does, it keeps creating your life so that you keep experiencing that same emotion over and over again. So you keep experiencing that over and over again, you keep remaining miserable, you keep remaining thinking, I don't have enough money. Right? So that's how faithful it is. It doesn't understand what is right and what is wrong. It just listens to you and it does whatever you want. So if you decide that you want to be happy about anything, you don't have to have a reason for being happy, right? You know, when you were born, when you were a little baby, you look at any little baby that is born, everyone is happy about the baby just because of its existence, right? This mere existence of the baby, it's coming into the world, or even the news, you know, like that, oh, someone's going to have a baby, that brings joy to your life, right? And then when the baby enters the world, is that baby a health and safety practitioner, already qualified, having keyboard certificates? Okay, engineer, doctor, what are you happy about? You are happy at the mere existence, and the baby is also the same. The baby is happy all the time. Babies are happy by default. Okay, they may cry once in a while to tell you they need, you know, like they need food, they need milk, they, you know, like wet their nappy and you have to change it. So they'll only cry for that, you know, like short period of time. And the moment you set it right, khalas, they are happy again. What are they happy about? What do they have so much for, you know, like to be happy about? What is the reason? There's no reason. But when we grow up, we start looking for reasons to become happy. And we say, okay, if I have a good job, I'll be happy. If I have, you know, so much earning, I'll be happy. If this person listens to me, I'll be happy. And we make these conditions, and then we wait for these conditions to be fulfilled. And when they are not fulfilled, we refuse to become happy. So we could be happy for no reason at all, just like that, just because of your existence, because you're alive, because you are there, right? You're happy about yourself. When was the last time that you were happy about yourself? So this is something to think about. So when you say, okay, I'll be happy only when I get this, and then you keep, you know, like fretting about, I don't get this, this person is not nice to me, this person is not nice to me, I'll be happy when they are nice to me, but they are not nice to me, and you keep feeling miserable about that, then the unconscious mind again understands that, okay, you're giving importance to this emotion, you like misery, that's why you keep yourself miserable for so much time, and then it keeps creating the same environment. And same thing goes for happy, right? You be happy about something for no reason at all, and then your unconscious mind learns that, okay, this person likes to be happy for no reason at all, right? And then it creates your life for you to keep being happy all the time for no reason at all. Okay, so this is like what we are going to tap, right? This is the unconscious mind, to which we will open a door right now, okay, to allow the information and to allow the unconscious mind to keep learning. Okay, so this is a technique which I would like you all to learn at the like right now, okay, and this is something that I would like all of you to share, right, with your children, with your family, with your friends. Okay, it's something that everyone could do with right now. Okay, it's a pity that it is not being taught in schools, right? This last week I had a training in schools, in a big, you know, like private school over here in Abu Dhabi, and before I started, I asked the teachers, like I had a group of teachers for the first year training, so I asked them, you know, like, do you know about the learning state? Have you ever been taught about the learning state? And it's like, you know, teachers, I mean, same thing applies for me. I'm not like, you know, discriminating them or, you know, like looking down upon them. I mean, that was my same state before I learned this. I'm a trainer, I'm a teacher, and like I don't know about the learning state, right? And only recently I've come to know. So people are not aware. It's not taught in the schools. Okay, big institutions, you would expect like they have something different than like the regular schools. They don't have it. Okay, very rarely will you come across a place where they actually know about something like this. How do you do that? How do you activate the learning state? Okay, I have on the screen in front of you, okay, white background with a black dot. Okay, this is just for the sake of convenience. Otherwise, we don't need a screen like this to activate the learning state. Okay, what you need to do is just look at a spot. Find a spot which is in front of you and above you, which I have just like made it for the sake of convenience. Okay. Now I want you to look at this spot in such a way that you are looking upwards and your eyes are going towards each other when you are focusing on that spot. I mean, it's like you could look like this at the spot. So your eyes are again like in line with the spot. So I don't want you to look at it like that, right? Even if it is in level with your eyes, I want you to just like tilt your head downwards so that your eyes go like upwards and towards each other because you're focusing on one spot. And please don't go like this, okay? I don't want it. I want it like straight, okay? We don't want to activate something unknown. Okay, I don't know that. I know only the learning state. A little more. Focus, okay? Heads down, eyes up towards each other, focusing on the black spot.
People connected on Skype, have they seen the
Uh, They are looking at
they
slide.
you.
Sorry?
They are looking at you also.
Okay, so it will look like this. Okay, if I'm looking at the learning spot, it will look like this. My eyes are upwards, looking at the spot, and they are converging. They are going towards each other. Okay, while I'm focusing on the spot. Yeah, like this. Looks terrifying. Okay. No cross eyes. No cross eyes. Tilt your face so you're facing the spot, or pick any other spot. Okay, you want this more convenient. Look at the clock. Okay, something on that side. Whatever, doesn't matter. Look at that fire sprinkler, if you will. Anything. Okay, just pick up a spot. It's plain white. Just imagine a spot on the ceiling, on the wall. Okay, that's just for like making it a little easy. Okay, now you're focusing. Okay, you're looking upwards. Okay, towards a point. Okay, you're focusing towards a point, and then your eyes are going towards each other. Now I want you to focus on that point. Okay, and while you're focusing, without moving your eyes, I want you to try to see the things which are around that point. You're not moving your eyes are focusing on that spot, but you're trying to see things other than the focus spot. Are you able to see something more now? Are you able to see something more now? Are you able to see something more? Have a look around. Relax, have a look around. If you've done it right, and that's all to it, there's no big mystery about that. Okay, if you have done it right, then you will have activated your learning state. The difference is that previously your vision was through your, like the retina that you call, so your vision was like this. So wherever you are looking, like you can only see the place, the things that you are focusing on. But now your vision should have become like this. So you'll be looking around like this. Is anyone able to feel the difference? I mean, you might be looking at me. You're looking at me. Can you see Sohail? Can you see him?
Yeah.
Without moving the eyes. Look at me. You're looking at me. You're focusing on me. Can you see the camera?
No.
No. Okay. Anyone else who could do that? You can do that. You can see the whole room. You can see everyone. The
things around the spot
Yeah.
that appears to us. So it's not possible to only focus the spot.
Mhm.
If we look at the spot, the things around the spot
Are also
we-
visible.
Yeah, are also visible.
Yes, but you are trying to focus.
Yes.
So you see only the spot first, right? And then while you are focusing on the spot, you then try, it's just to will yourself. You don't have to do anything to try. Like you just will yourself to be able to see things which are around that spot. Okay, and then it will activate your peripheral vision. Please do that. If you haven't activated, I would like you to do it again.
What is peripheral vision?
It's not clear that I don't know who's sitting on my extreme left,
But you are
but
still.
I can see
Yes,
that
yes,
there is
exactly.
somebody
That's-
else sitting.
That's.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it will become completely clear. Right? Doesn't mean that at all. But you will be able to see and you will become aware of those things. Previously,
I just tried and I'm looking at the dot and I've seen Sharon prefer her like that.
very good. Yes, exactly. That's that you activated it. So I'm looking at you, for example. Okay, I can see someone shifted a hand over there. I'm not looking at her. You're moving a leg. Okay, my vision is a bit I've not worked on that yet. I still need glasses. Okay, but still I could see movement. Okay. Now what is happening? Like for example, when I'm driving, okay, I am looking through the windshield after activating my learning state. Previously it was like this, like a horse, right? With those eye pads, so your vision is very very narrow, and you have to actually look at the mirrors and all, like here and there to become aware whether there's traffic, people or not. Now, when I'm activating the learning state and then I'm driving, I'm looking right through the windscreen. Okay, my vision is like this. I can see people. I'm looking in front, focusing in front. I can see people moving. I can see cars. I can see the traffic coming from the other side. People moving on the other side. I can see all that. Okay. I can even observe the rear view mirror. I'm looking straight. I'm not looking at the rear view mirror. I can still see the rear view mirror and I can understand that there's a car approaching. Okay. If the lightings are good, if it's during the day and all, I can make out the color of the car. I can see from which lane it is driving back, into my lane. And then if it is changing lane and it is coming to the left hand side, left lane, then without looking at it, I can see it coming into the left rear view mirror. Okay, and all the time, there's no car. I can still see the white stripes on the road, passing on both the sides. The right side is a little too, farther away, so it's not so clear. I can still make out when there is movement. So that is activating your learning state. It's like opening a window to your unconscious mind. And now, those who have activated the learning state may go to sleep. Now go to sleep, I am not concerned. But those who haven't, please, a little more effort, okay, and you will be able to activate it. Anyone who has not activated it yet? Everyone has activated it.
Everyone can also sleep.
Everyone can go to sleep. Okay, so this is important. This is real. Okay. Like we said earlier, the vision, your awareness will increase. Doesn't mean you can see everything very clearly. Clarity will still be there in that part where you are focusing, but then you are still able to make out difference. You see, for example, you've seen karate or kung fu movies, right? You see the hero, for example. Okay, before he starts to fight, okay, he is very peaceful. He's calm, right? And then he's surrounded by maybe 15, 20 fighters, but he is able to see all of them with a little movement of his neck, right? That's because they have activated the learning state. And one of the ways, hand movement that they will do is something like this, okay, where they are actually bringing their hand up, they are focusing, bringing their eyes into that, upward towards position, and then, activating the learning state. Vision goes like this. And then, vision is like this, they're just looking like this, and they're able to see all the way out there. So 15, 20 people jumping from all directions, they are able to see most of them, and they're able to, of course they are heroes and they're fast,
So we have to activate this learning state again and again.
You could deactivate it by just like trying to focus on some small spot, and like you want to deactivate it. It might get deactivated like that. Okay. But then you may have to, if you feel that it's not active, you may have to reactivate it. And like once you train yourself to do it, you will become automatically in the learning state all the time.
And how is it connected to sleeping? Like you're saying, activate the learning state and then go to sleep. So, like, what's the connection?
See, this is opening a window to your unconscious mind. By doing this, you're opening the window to your unconscious mind and accepting the information that is being shared. Wherever you go, it's not in the class, everywhere. So even if you're not paying attention, you're not consciously learning, but information is going into your unconscious mind and you are still learning. What would happen, after you've activated this state, and let's say you've gone to sleep, okay, and then you wake up, you will not know what I have done in the class as such. You will not be aware of what has been taught. But if I ask you a question about a topic that was taught in the class, then you will know the answer. And then you will be surprised as how do I know this answer even though I have not learned it? Okay, because you have learned it, your unconscious mind has learned it while you were sleeping. So that's how it will help. Okay, so that's for all students, I would say. Like anyone comes to you, it will increase our pass percentages dramatically, I hope. Okay, because the poor guys are so tired, after their duty and 12 hours of this and that, and they literally go to sleep. So make them switch on the learning state and then let them go to sleep. Okay, and I believe we'll be improving the results. Okay, so this is about the learning state. Hope everyone has activated it. Okay, don't be so serious. You guys are like, why are you so serious?
They are activating their learning state.
You're focusing.
Okay, focus. Okay. That would be how your eyes are going up and towards each other when you are focusing on the spot. Okay, you could focus on his hair if you have not activated the learning state yet. Okay, right. So assuming that you activated it, okay, it may strain your eyes a bit. Just as a side note, warning. Okay, you might feel a little strain in your eyes by doing that. That's absolutely all right. You are exercising those muscles which you have probably never used in your life for the first time. So you feel that kind of little bit uneasiness and strain in your eyes. Okay, it might be there for a day or two, and then your eyes will relax and they'll come back to normal. Okay, even when the learning state is on. If you're feeling something like that, all of a sudden doing this strain, okay, no problem at all. Okay, coming to the next part, what are you made up of? Okay, a little information regarding what we are made up of, so that you understand, okay, what our capabilities are. Like we are driving towards that point to understand what our capabilities are. Okay. From the chemical perspective, we are made up of hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and carbon. And just keep in mind that these are the same elements that stars are made up of. So you're made up of the same stuff that stars are made up of. Okay. Biologically, if you look at yourself, then we are made up of systems like nervous system, okay, the respiratory system, vascular system, okay, muscular system, different types of systems that we are made up of. We have organs like the brain, lungs, stomach, skin, right? And we are made up of tissues and we are made up of cells. Right? We have a little bit of knowledge about this, okay, not going into too much detail. And when you look at yourself from the physical perspective, then we are made up of molecules and atoms. Okay. In atoms, if you go into the detail of an atom, what is an atom made up of, then you will see that they are made up of subatomic particles, okay, which will include protons and electrons and neurons, gluons, quarks and mesons. Okay, these are electromagnetic vibration waves of light called as quanta. So we will say that an atom is made up of energy, electromagnetic waves of light which are called as quanta. If you go into the very fundamental of the atom and find out what is the building block of our cell, then it is energy. To date, the only scientific measurable within an atom is energy. The only thing that you can measure in an atom is energy. Okay? So you are fundamentally made up of energy. Okay, you are not a lump of flesh moving around, to say otherwise. Okay, you are made up of energy. And the molecular structure as well as the frequency that the atoms vibrate at is what separates them and makes everything unique and distinguishable. Like every atom or this energy is vibrating at a different frequency. And they have a different molecular structure. That is why you can